So today I have an awesome opportunity to share a lot of information with you that you normally would not see on my channel. And I'm talking currently on a Skype call with Asmongold, who is another YouTuber in the World of Warcraft sphere. He mainly focuses on PvE and achievements and all these crazy things. And I'm personally subscribed to him, and I would love to share this channel with you guys because we're going to be talking about a couple different topics today regarding PvE and PvP. And the video about PvP is actually going to be on his channel right now, which I'm going to link in the description and at the end of this video for you guys to click to and go check that out. But today we're going to be talking about PvE and what's new in Legion, why you think you should check it out, because my channel is mostly PvP, but I feel like it's such a small sphere within the entire World of Warcraft. And if you are actually interested in playing this game or coming back to Legion, it's worth at least exploring the idea of raiding or Mythic Plus dungeons or doing the achievements or the speed runs or whatever it is. And Asmongold's here to help me today to explain all of that to you guys, and I'm really excited to bring that to you. So what's up, Asmongold? Welcome to the channel, dude.
What's going on, man? I'm glad to be here. It was really awesome. We got in contact a couple of weeks ago, and I'm really glad after a couple of scheduling conflicts, we're finally here, and we're finally doing it. I'm very glad to be here, man.
Yeah, we made it like Drake, dude. Okay. But,
Yeah.
yeah, so what's new in Legion, man? I know that there's a lot of different changes going on. I figured maybe we could start with the Mythic Plus dungeons, because I feel like that's kind of getting a lot of hype right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, and guys, by the way, it was not about what's new. Honestly, it would be shorter if we talked about what's still the same, because they have changed basically everything in Legion. Now, I'll explain what Mythic Plus dungeons are, guys. So, if you've ever played Diablo 3, you probably know what Greater Rifts are. They're basically levels of a dungeon. We'll just kind of use as an example that you guys know right now. Let's think. What's a dungeon right now on WoD that's good?
I don't know. I never did them.
You never never did them.
Well,
Okay.
I think I did it when I was leveling up, but I never
right.
went back.
Well,
oh wait, no,
let's
no, the blood with the
Blood
the
Maul
slags?
Slag Mines.
Yeah,
Maul
that.
Slag Mines. Okay, so let's say you beat Blood Maul Slag Mines on Mythic, okay? But you say, I bet I could beat Blood Maul Slag Mines on Mythic, and even a harder Mythic, like Mythic, okay? And that's pretty much, yeah, that's what Mythic Plus does. It's Mythic Plus, basically another Mythic version. And so it's consecutively increasing, damage, consecutively increasing health, and basically everything is scaled up to basically an infinite number. Now, each different level of Mythic Dungeons give you a lot of different rewards, and it's a way to kind of, I know a lot of you guys probably do PvP, and with that, a lot of the big frustrations, I think, for PvPers coming into PvE is figuring out that people can sit there and have a 10-minute window to do something and still get it wrong. And so with Mythic Dungeons, you cannot do that. Mythic Dungeons very much, I believe, replicate and at least are a lot closer to the same PvP feel that you get whenever you're doing an arena, especially like a larger scale arena, like a 5v5. Well, you used to be able to do 5v5s. Now it's
Yeah, that got pruned, dude. That's out of the game
pruned,
now.
man.
There's no more 5v5.
Yeah, it's too bad, but whatever. I got my Arena Master title. I'm not complaining. But more like an RPG, I guess. And so you still have to have very high level of coordination, very high level of responsiveness. You're always doing something. You're always moving forward.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of ready checks. There's not a whole lot of strategy discussion. There's not a whole lot of that stuff. And also, what makes Mythic Plus Dungeons very interesting is that there are different affixes in those Mythic Plus Dungeons. Now, if you guys have ever done the maps in Path of Exile or anything like that, or at least like whenever you fought a champion pack in Diablo 3, each different champion pack had different affixes like Arcane Enchanted, Waller, Molten, and so those affixes are being kind of ported over to Mythic Plus Dungeons. One of them is bolstering. Whenever one of the monsters dies, it empowers the other monsters around it to make it have more health and do more damage. And so that makes you want to kind of split the monsters up and fight things differently. And you can have different affixes available, and the higher level that you're doing the Mythic Plus Dungeons, the more affixes are active at the same time. One where kind of like magma pools spawned under you, and so you have to always be moving out of those. One where like whenever the mobs like put pools under them and you have to kite them around so they don't empower themselves and heal themselves. It's very dynamic, okay? And so if you get bored of PvE because it's just basically hitting the same buttons over and over at the same time, Mythic Plus dungeons are basically still that, okay? Like, let's be real. Let's just get down to it. That's basically still what it is, but it's definitely a lot more dynamic than sitting through LFR or even a heroic version of a raid. And so Mythic Plus dungeons, I think, are probably one of the most interesting and the most dynamic additions into the PvE content in Legion.
Yeah, and one of the main things I feel that PvPers love is the ability to see the reactions of their enemies and their arena teammates or enemies in general, and kind of find a way to beat that regardless. And I think that Mythic Plus dungeons do offer that same type of competitiveness, that same type of sphere that you're looking to fight against. And what's really cool about PvE now, from what I understand, is that in PvP in previous expansions, there's been like this myth throughout PvPers that PvE is easy and that any PvPer can PvE because it's easy, which is not a myth anymore because that's an impossibility. Like, if you could, what's the highest level in Mythic Plus dungeons? Do you know?
If you get to the highest level, they'll ban you because it's statistically and mathematically impossible.
Okay, exactly. So PvE is not easy anymore. In most people's eyes, they think that, but I don't think I've ever thought that because raiders are a lot more complex than I am.
Let me kind of explain what the difficulty that comes out of PvE is, okay?
Yeah,
the
okay.
difficulty that comes out of PvE isn't knowing oh wow, the boss turned red again. That means I need to hit all my cooldowns and attack him really fast. Okay,
Yeah.
we can figure that out real easy. The challenge in PvE and what makes PvE difficult, what makes guilds fail and what makes guilds succeed is everything outside of their actual performance. Okay, I'm talking about raid management, guild management, player management, recruitment, guild loot distribution, making sure everybody's happy. And so in a way, what makes PvE difficult is everything that's not the actual content itself, whereas PvP is much more focused on actually being able to react and do things with other players and against other players. But PvE, the difficulty really in there is being able to deal with people failing, not getting mad whenever somebody gets hit by the firewall for the 13th time, and being able to also tell that guy, hey, you did a great job tonight, and then go on wildprogress.com and found a replacement for him for the next day. And so come on. And so that's what makes PvE difficult, and it's being able to interact and succeed as a team. The teamwork element in PvE is much more emphasized because you're dealing with 20 people in a mythic raid. And whenever you're dealing with large groups of people, you're going to have disagreements, you're going to have conflicts, and being able to come through those conflicts and succeed through those conflicts is always what's really made PvE difficult. It's never actually been the mechanics, okay? It's making sure that people do things in the exact same way all the time and emphasizing on perfection and kind of filtering out different, different things that are out of your control, like lag, disconnects, and stuff like that, because that'll happen no matter what. But being able to deal with that whenever it does happen and be able to move forward, that's always a difficulty that's been in PvE. Anybody that actually tells you that killing heroic or mythic Iskar is hard, they're wrong. Okay, they're wrong. It's not hard, all right? And I'm not a world first trader, guys. Like, let's be real. And so maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, but I do believe that the real challenge that comes out of PvE is everything that comes outside of the actual game itself. And so in Legion, with these Mythic Plus dungeons, you really are, in a lot of ways, competing against other players, because everybody can complete Mythic Plus 1, Mythic Plus 2, probably up to Mythic Plus 5 or 7 or so. But after that, then you're actually competing with other players, and how can we do what they did better than them? And how can we succeed where other people failed? And so there's much more of a direct competition with other groups and other players in Mythic Plus dungeons that we haven't really seen in PvE outside of World First races. And so that's going to be a really interesting way to see how that'll evolve and to see how players will react to that in Legion.
Yeah, and I think that team versus team type of aspect is really going to resonate with PvPers, right? Because the entire PvP atmosphere in 3v3 at least is like, is my team better than the other team, right? And is that shown through the results of this match?
Well, yeah,
and I think
because one team's numbers go up and the other ones go down.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Right? So I think that certain level of PvE will be interesting for PvPers, and I know that I'm definitely going to try it. But there's also an entirely different world than just the Mythic Plus dungeons, and that's another point that I want to hit in this video, is explaining like the raids themselves. Are they interesting, this expansion? Like, how many are there? Like, I think that if we just hit those basic questions, that would help a lot of us understand like what we're actually getting into when we're trying to raid, when we're trying to be a part of that community and that side of the game. So would you mind shedding a little bit of light on that?
Absolutely. So the raids, there's the Nighthold, and then there's the other one. Okay, I don't remember what the other one is. I think that in Warlords of Draenor and also in Mists of Pandaria, Blizzard has really stepped up their game with making more compelling raids. Hellfire Citadel was a good raid, okay? High Maul was a great raid. Mythic High Imperator Margok was probably one of the most challenging fights that I've ever done. It's like 17 or 18 minutes long. And going through that whole thing and having 20 people not make a mistake... you're gonna have a bad time. And then if you think the time is hard, you can move over to BRF Mythic, and you've got a 7-minute fight with Blackhand, where even the slightest mistake is a raid wipe. And so they've really stepped up their game with making raiding. In my opinion, I think that the raiding mechanics are too hard now.
Which is amazing.
I really
perfectly
do,
fine
because,
with too hard.
Yeah, they are extremely difficult, and not too hard for me. I played the game for like 10 years, dude. Like, whatever they're gonna do, I do it. But some guy, comes into the game and he's like seeing all these numbers and the fire and the shadows, and then he's dead, and like, what the hell is this? I need to go back to LFR. And he's not having a good time. And so I do think that they're very, very difficult, and somebody from a PvP perspective can come into that, and whenever you're already used to reacting to things in a 1-second time frame, you can come into PvE and still be pretty successful. And I also want to emphasize the fact that raids are not the only element in PvE in Legion. Now, we also have world quests, and some of those world quests are PvP world quests, where you go around and you just kill some NPCs, and maybe you kill a couple of players there at the same time, and that gives you honor for your honor levels. That's a really big deal, and everything like that. And so there are a lot of other facets to PvE that can potentially help you in PvP. Now, I think that a lot of you guys know the different changes to PvP, the stat normalization, but one thing that you need to know is that the higher item level gear that you get in PvP, the higher item level gear that you have, period, increases your stats in general in PvP. So if you come into PvP at an 800 item level, okay, and somebody else comes into PvP at a 900 item level, which, by the way, is impossible. You can't even get a 900 item level. Each item level increases your damage by point, or your stats, or whatever, your power. I guess power is the best way to look at it, by 0.1. Now, it used to be, in Warlords of Draenor, it would increase it by 1. So this is a huge difference, but at the same time, man, like, I think that anybody who's really competitive, I think a lot of you guys that do PvP are very competitive. And so I remember back in Cataclysm, I was like an FC for RBGs, and it's like, if one guy had one more epic resilience gem than me, if I die, that's the reason. It's that gem, man. It's that one gem. I knew I should have bought it. And so
complain on the forums. Here we go.
Yeah. This is bullshit. I hate this game. Why can't you just put everybody on even playing field? And so the way that I look at it is that you want to go in PvP because you're playing against other people, okay? And so that means that you can't just go on to watch a fat boss guide, icy veins, or just read your fucking dungeon journal and figure out how to kill Mythic Archimond. You gotta actually figure out how to outplay this person. And sometimes, guys, people outplay you. But whenever you have better gear, it doesn't matter as much. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you can come into things with the best advantage possible, and being able to get those potentially Titan Forged items. Now, Titan Forged, it's basically it's basically when, like, if you've ever been to Las Vegas.
Not quite yet, but I'm about to turn 21 in a couple weeks. So
okay, so whenever you pull that lever and random things pop up.
Yeah.
The slot machine.
Yeah, that sounds like Titan Forge.
That's Titan Forge, guys. So there's nothing that you can necessarily do to prevent or to actually, like, I guess, like, trigger Titan Forge. But one thing I do want to say is that if you get a very high item level, or very high clear on Mythic Plus, so like you get like a plus 11 or a plus 10 or something like that, your gear will default up to 860, 870 or something like that. So that's going to allow you to maybe replace a piece of gear for PvP, and it doesn't even matter what PvP gear you have, what stats that gear has on, or anything. It's just that number. And so that's one of the big reasons why you can, PvE allows you to roll the dice a few extra times, and I think that's a really, really big thing. And for anybody that wants to be competitive, that's going to help them out a lot. And that's something that I've always thought was a very, very important thing, is to make sure that you get as many advantages coming into the arena as possible, because or the RBG or anything like that. And so, guys, I really do think that doing this PvE content can actually help you in PvE. Or sorry, there's a lot of P's, guys. I'm sorry. But
in PvP, we got you. And
it can help you in PvP. And honestly,
the main thing is though, the main thing with PvP is like, I know a lot of people out there get really stingy about having that even playing field and having that advantage over another player with the gear. But if you're looking to get Gladiator, if you're looking to get a rank 1 title, or just advance yourself to 2K or whatever it is, if that availability is there for you to get a better piece of gear in general for PvP, I think it's worth doing. I think that, honestly, I feel like it was pretty fun having like Warglaives in BC like available for arena. I thought that was a fun mechanic, and that's something that I would like to see in the game again. It's obviously not going to be to that measure, but still it'll be pretty cool. The main thing that I wanted to ask at this point is like, okay, there's all these reasons out there as to why we should try PvE, Asmongold, and I know that your channel is mostly focused on this question, but like, what can I do as somebody that doesn't know how to PvE in order to get into it right as Legion launches? Like, do I need to do LFR?
I'll tell you exactly what you guys need to do. There are a lot of YouTube channels here, and one of the best ones, guys, this is from my own personal experience, is a channel called Asmongold. Okay, and that channel has the guides that you need to see. Okay, like if you want to know how to get every stupid little achievement in the game, that channel has got it locked down. Okay, how to get the bosses down, I've got that too. And so make sure to check that out. And on top of that,
so shameless, dude.
Yeah. No shame, man, no shame. And there are tons of other websites, icyveins.com, wowhead.com, other great YouTubers. Obviously with our humble guest here, Cartoons, and also Bellier Gaming, Heel vs Babyface, Fat Boss, Preach Gaming. Tons of really, really great resources here. And honestly, guys, if you're looking for it, you're gonna find it. To be honest, like, let me tell you, I've said honest a lot, but that's because I am. And young Asmongold, I had Brutal Gladiator gear, and the reason that I'm in the position I am right now, and the reason that I am is because back then, Brutal Gladiator gear was good enough to take into Sunwell and actually help me kill Brutalis. Okay, and I killed Brutalis with one of the, I was a social in this guild, and their arms warrior flaked out, but your boy never flakes out. And so I went in there, and we killed Brutalis pre-nerf, and that ended up earning me a raid spot in a guild that I would be a part of for the better part of a decade. And so you never know. I mean, you might end up as some dragon-slaying nerd making YouTube videos complaining about pointless achievements, but hey, if you work hard, anything is possible. And that's kind of what I want to say here. And you never know where things are going to take you. And, you might enjoy PvE. You might enjoy the sense of camaraderie, working together as a team. Not everybody will. But I encourage you guys to at least give it a try. There's a lot of other really great things about it. I think that it'll allow you to kind of explore the world, doing these world quests. I think that you owe it to yourself to at least do some of them. They're fun, and they also give you artifact power, which you need for your weapons, to level up your weapons.
Yeah,
and
you need that for PvP.
Yeah, that's going to help you right there. And it's like I think that we all started out with some sense of wonder in the game whenever we started playing.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Get the rose-tinted glasses. And it's like Legion probably won't give you that same feeling, but I think that it might remind you of it. They've made some really great zones. They've made some really great areas. And honestly, I've been really looking forward to it. There's a lot of other, more meta things. In PvP, how many girls do PvP?
Well, I have a 3% female demographic, so a lot.
Wow, dude, I have a 4. Dude, it's those pet battle videos.
Come on,
I got.
Dude.
It's the pet battle videos. Yeah,
it's the pet battle videos.
I mean, there's some girls in raiding, and in PvP, it's like there's like 10 guys fighting over the same girl, And like, most girls only PvE. I mean, like, like MacBooks don't really have enough FPS to do competitive PvP, and so you can get into PvE raids. You can do in that, and you come in there and you're a gladiator. It's like you're a natural alpha in that fucking raid, man. And so
that's true. That is true. Girls love rank 1 titles. They love rank 1 titles, and they love 100K subscribers.
Like, accidentally or whatever, quote accidentally. And definitely, PvPers kind of do in some ways look up to PvPers in that way. Other people look down, and I'm sure it's vice versa. But listen, like, I think that you can really get a lot out of PvP and PvE in Legion, and it will help you with PvP. You can get nice transmog gear. I mean, you always got to look fresh. You can get new pets. You can get new mounts. You can get all kinds of cosmetic rewards. And most of you guys, I've seen most PvP or transmogs, you don't put a lot of work into them, okay? I know.
Oh, come on, man.
It's okay.
Dude, now you're going for the mogs? You gotta be, come on.
Well, I mean, hey, you got to look fresh, okay?
I'm trying to paint you in gold on my channel. You can't be dissing my homies mogs, man.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not dissing them, okay? I'm inviting them to step up to the next level, okay?
Okay,
to step up to the next level to get that cool PvE gear, okay? And it's a possibility. It really is.
That's true. I do use the challenge mode stuff on my...
Yeah, because it looks cool. That's why.
Yeah,
and like, you go into arena, it's like, like, so you beat somebody in arena, and you got the transmog gear that they can't even get. So like, not only are you beating them in what you're doing right now, but you have gear that they can't even get, so you're beating them twice whenever you don't have to beat them once. It's like, well, you're killing the same bird with 2 stones.
You're a fantastic dragon salesman. You know that?
Yeah, I hope so.
But
need more raiders.
Man. I mean, for sure, yeah. And I think that that's a lot of information for people to kind of get involved with PvE, and I think that we have a pretty strong understanding of just like how it overall works right now. And I think that if you guys are interested in following more information, you can check out Asmongold's channel. Definitely go check out the video that I did with him on his channel, and be sure to give this video a big solid thumbs up if you enjoyed.
That's right.
Show Asmongold some love on the channel. It's his first time showing up for you guys. I definitely hope that you did enjoy, and I look forward to working with Asmongold in future videos for sure. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on. I had a great time, and this is definitely a good time. I've never done any of these like this, and so we're gonna have to see how it turns out. I hope everybody likes it. I really do. I had fun showing you guys this new stuff, and I always really just enjoy sharing things about something that I care about, and so hopefully you guys enjoyed having that shared with you.
Yeah, same here. I'm in the same boat. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Be sure to give it a like if you enjoyed as well. You can leave a comment down below if you have any questions or want to discuss, and you can also subscribe to both of our channels for Legion content. I say that in every video, but I'm adding you into it this time. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Cartoons out.